Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
What up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Man Cave Podcast. We are at VFW Post 305, Star Avenue, ahead of the Packers versus Cleveland Browns game. We just got done we're at Packtoberfest. That was Living a Dream Jeff, who made his cameo there. We got C-Bomb to my right. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing,
I'm
El
good,
Capitano?
man. I'm good.
Looking good. You're half the man you used to be.
I am. So, you know what? Well, by the time this podcast gets uploaded, we'll know the result of the Packers game. So
will.
Hopefully it's a W. But
32-10, Packers.
So what do we want to do a little bit? I wanted to change up the podcast here a little bit and kind of make it, just a little bit more. Well, first of all, we got to get more people and such. Why do you have the Packers advisory board and club executives on your computer? Are you looking for a job or?
It's
the Brewers.
It's
I'm sorry.
The Brewers.
It's the Brewers. I'm sorry. It's the Brewers.
I'm fired up. They're going to lock it up today, man.
All right.
They're going to lock up the Central.
Are you going to send an email to Mark or something afterwards?
I met him.
I know you did.
I got photos.
Yeah, I know you do.
It was great.
I know you do. So, but we're doing a little bit something different with the podcast going forward. We got the video. So this is a new camera I bought on Amazon. We're going to try this so you can see his guys' mug and such, and just have some really more casual, fun conversations, right?
Absolutely.
So I gave you questions ahead of time, sir.
I didn't study.
Good, because I want it more natural, all el natural.
Yeah.
And yet you're wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
thank
El
you for
Natural.
that, though. So thank you for that.
I keep myself well groomed. I'm not El Natural.
Hey, no.
Oh, sorry. PG-13. My apologies.
So,
It's a podcast.
Yep. So, we're going to begin with a little thing I call four downs.
Four downs.
Topics.
Got it.
Topics. Then we're going to play a little game time, which, we're going to play a little would you rather and what if. All right.
Beautiful.
So let's get to our four downs first. This is the first question I'm throwing out there. If the Packers don't win the Super Bowl and the Brewers don't win the World Series, is each of their seasons considered failures?
No.
No?
Living a dream. Jeff's over here nodding like he's headbanging at a freaking Slipknot concert. I'll tell you why. I think to win it all, it takes not only, in both sports, not only extreme talent, but it does take a little bit of luck, right?
Yeah.
You got to have things roll your way. You got to hit teams at the right time. I mean, so just because you don't finish at the very top doesn't mean it was not a success. Now, if we take the Brewers at the beginning of the season, you'd say getting to the playoffs would be a major success. Mm-hmm. None of us thought they were going to go on a tear like they have this year. Mm-hmm. And if you did think that, you're lying.
Right.
So for me as a Brewers fan, we've seen the Brewers, 7 out of the last 8 years? Correct me if I'm wrong. What is it that they've
7
been?
of the last 8, they've been in the postseason.
Right.
Yep.
If they don't get to the NLCS, then it's a failure. If they win the NLCS and get to the World Series, that's in my lifetime. Granted, 82 I was alive, but I was too young to really realize what was going on. That's the most accomplished thing this team's ever done for me. So if they get to the World Series, God, more than successful season. If they get to the NLCS, that's successful for me. Green Bay, if they don't get to the NFC Championship game, it's a failure. So do they have to win it all for me? No. What do you think?
I've gone back and forth on this throughout my whole life. When it's come to a Green Bay perspective, I was always with the mindset, as long as you had Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback, it should have been Super Bowl or bust.
Agree.
And that should have been the goal and such. I don't know if it's because I've gotten more mature or I'll say it, become a dad or something like that. I've changed my perspective a little bit on it. I almost think that failure is too strong of a word in that essence. I think if obviously they didn't reach their goals, they didn't get their goals. Because I think you look at Green Bay and you look at Milwaukee, you can make the case, okay, if Milwaukee ends up finishing this thing in first place across the National League, there should be nothing short of a World Series, right? I mean, if you get the 1 seed, granted, the National League is tight. I mean, it's talented. We could agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
Dodgers, Phillies, Padres, Cubs. It's great. But if you get the 1 seed out of all those teams, you should have a high expectation going into the postseason, and it should be bare minimum. I mean, you lose a first-round series again, it's like, what the hell's going on here?
Exactly.
It's like the Oakland A's back in the day with Moneyball. Great regular season, but then you can't do anything in the postseason sort of thing. So there should be that minimum. There should be goals, but to me, I don't know if I'm getting a little too soft, but it's like I almost feel like the word failure is a little too harsh, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like those goals, yes, you didn't reach the goals. You didn't reach the end result. And if you want to call that a failure, you call it a failure, but there's other things that you were able to accomplish along the way. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
a
it
little
makes
bit?
sense.
I mean, again, I don't know if that's just strictly me being involved in more youth sports because of the kid, because I don't want to, say, hey, you lost, so it was a failure. You know, it's like, and I get it. This is professional. This is a little bit different and that sort of stuff. So I feel like it would not, lack of a better word or a better phrase, it's not successful, but I don't know if I could use the word failure.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No,
or did
it
I
does.
just talk too much?
No, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to say anything's a failure. Like Green Bay, if you miss the playoffs, it's a failure. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in a get Parsons, right?
Right.
But to win the whole thing, if you don't win the whole thing, it's a failed season. I would say no.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I think you've accomplished certain goals at a certain point, right? You've you've gotten the division championship, you've gotten the postseason and that. But if you and some could take it, and that's the right way. They could some say, well, if you don't hit all your goals, then that's a failure, and that's fine if you want to look at it that way. It's just overall season-wise, I don't know if I could say it as a failure, because how many times have we been saying, especially maybe for the Brewers, because we're almost to the postseason, how fun this team is, how awesome this year has been. And then how in the same breath can we say it's been a failure?
Right.
If we've been just praising everything and all that sort of stuff. It's like I don't know how you can in one breath say it's a failure, but throughout the whole season we've been saying all these positive stuff. All this positive stuff.
I don't think this season could be a failure at all. It especially for the Brewers. I mean, just their 14-game winning streak in the middle of the season, and the ups and downs, the things that they've gone through, all the different players that have come in and contributed, and it's just been such a fun year. I don't think anything could label this season as a failure, especially considering the beginning of the season. We didn't even, and we were hoping they'd be a playoff contender.
Right.
And
I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs.
No, at the same time, you talk about expectations can change through the season, like Green Bay, right? We go out, we get Micah Parsons. We drafted a young stud in the first round in Matthew Golden. We've got Tucker Kraft. We've got all these different pieces. Adding Xavier McKinney last year and doing these different things. You got Edger and Cooper. As the team goes, like if we go on a huge run and say I'm just throwing it out there, they're 10-0. They finished the season 15-2. Now it's a failure if they don't win the Super Bowl, right? So I would say today, is it a failure if they don't win? No, but that expectation could grow throughout the season.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer in expectations change throughout a season, right? I mean, they change throughout a season, and they, you could go, like the Brewers are the perfect example of that. So next question, second down. Most overrated and underrated player in the NFL.
Oh, I should have looked at these and looked them up. Most overrated and underrated. I think.
Now, I'll be honest. I didn't look this up. I'm just going straight off my gut, top of the head.
Oof. Oh, that is so tough. Do you want to answer first?
Nope.
No? You're not going to answer? Okay. Most overrated player in the NFL, I think at this point, for me, is probably Patrick Mahomes. That's going to raise a lot of eyebrows because the dude's a stud. But I don't necessarily. It's kind of like I don't want to say it's a Tom Brady type thing. I think there's a perfect marriage between him and Andy Reid, and I think Andy Reid puts him in these positions to succeed. And I think we're going to start seeing Patrick Mahomes deal with what Aaron Rodgers did for the last decade in Green Bay. His salary ties up so much of what they do. what can they really put around him? You know, because a lot of what he did in the past, he had guys like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, a solid running game, a phenomenal defense, and it helped feed him. I still think he's a great player, but I think he might be overrated. I think there's a handful of quarterbacks I would actually take ahead of him right now. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to get murdered on that hill, but I'm going to stand there.
I got two.
Okay, let's hear him.
One is his teammate Travis Kelce right now.
Oh, yeah. He's not as solid this year.
And that could be an age
decline.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a decline, but I think he still kind of gets a little propped up a little bit too much. Right now, I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't disagree with that at all.
I think he's a good quarterback, but I also feel like, especially you look at this year, you look at the average pass attempts and such, and it's a quarterback. I do think system quarterbacks tend to get a negative term on it, which I'm not fully on board with. I mean, if you're a good quarterback that can play with a system, a lot of quarterbacks who have had failed careers wish they were system quarterbacks, because I feel like a lot of rookie quarterbacks get drafted into awful situations. Baker Mayfield is like the perfect example of a guy who got how many other quarterbacks went from a number one pick to you're battling Sam Darnold in Carolina for a job, to getting released, to being a backup with the Rams because they're injured, and then you get another shot in Tampa Bay, and look where he's at now.
Exactly.
But I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a quarterback that you can win the game with like on his shoulders. You know what I mean? Like some of those, like a Josh Allen. He can win a game on his shoulders. I don't know if I can do that with Jalen Hurts, even though they won the Super Bowl last year. That was a team effort.
It was a team effort, and I think that's you bring good points. I don't know that you could put a team on his shoulders. He's never shown it that he can do it. Yeah, it's tough. This question, that's a really tough question. I probably should have. I was going to do homework. I just never got to it, but that's a tough one.
You sound like a kid in school.
Here's the thing. I mean, so often when you say most overrated, underrated, you look directly at quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to say the most underrated, you look directly at the quarterback. If I was going to say the most underrated quarterback, you said his name, Baker Mayfield. I mean, I love Baker Mayfield. He's definitely a top 5 quarterback for me, and he's just a winner. But if I was going to look at another position, another player that I think is a phenomenal player that doesn't get the credit he deserves, I think it's Deebo Samuel. You know, I think he did a lot for the 49ers. He was their offense. He's a guy that can he's like a true switchblade, and now he's doing it for Washington. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. If I was going to pick a non-quarterback, I think it'd be Deebo Samuel that's the most underrated.
That's a good one. Baker's a good one after I was just talking about him, too. I might go a little underrated. By the way, I thought of another guy for overrated. I've just never been on him for the last few years, Geno Smith. I've never been on the Geno Smith bandwagon with that and such. But underrated, I might go, and I honestly, you could probably pick a lot of, like, if you want to go outside of quarterbacks, you could go offensive linemen, because I don't think they get any of the love that they deserve. Exactly. So I think for me, underrated, I might go. This is gonna sound nuts, but I still don't think he gets enough credit where he deserves. Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is a stud.
Yeah. He's a stud, but I think people forget about how consistently good he has been.
Modern day Larry Fitzgerald.
I like that.
He really.
I like that comparison. I like it a lot.
That's actually a really good one. He does stir the drink for Tampa. He is a machine, and he's been doing it for so long. You just take it for granted.
Yep. He is a guy that I don't know if he'll get a Super Bowl. Larry never did. Larry went to a Super Bowl, but I never thought of it that way. I like that comparison between Mike Evans and Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, you got a guy every single year that's over 1,000 yards. I mean, and look at the different. Yes, he had Tom Brady for just a couple of years,
right?
But before that, Jameis Winston,
right?
And Baker now too, obviously. But I mean, beginning of the career, not a whole lot there to write home about. No,
and he's performed year in, year out, year in, year out. You just pencil him in for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
He is underrated.
Third down, since we're talking about quarterbacks and such, is Jordan Love a top 10 quarterback?
I think he's right around that 10 range.
Okay.
5 to 10.
5 to 10?
I think I mean, there's a handful I'd take ahead of him, but That's not
So
a
who
knock
would you
on
take
him.
ahead of him? Lamar?
Possibly.
Okay, Josh Allen, right?
Josh Allen.
Patrick?
I'd put Mahomes, even though I called him overrated, I'd put Mahomes ahead of him.
Baker?
No.
All right.
I think, okay, let's think top to bottom here. I should
Josh
pull up
Allen, yes.
let's look NFC
Joe Burrow,
East.
if he's healthy.
Joe Burrow healthy, yes.
Yes.
Justin Herbert. So what are we at now? How many?
So 3 if you have Josh Allen on there.
We should almost pull up the divisions. I would take him over anybody else in the North. In the South, Baker Mayfield that's close. I'm still taking Jordan. He's younger. He's got more upside.
Stafford?
Nope, I'll take Love ahead of Stafford. Here's the question, too. Is he a top 10, like, you got one game to win, you got 10 quarterbacks to choose from? Or is it like,
Just
this is your
top 10
guy
overall.
going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still taking Love over Stafford, I think.
Brock Purdy?
I'm taking him over Purdy.
Yep. Caleb, you just said everybody over there, so.
Yep.
Bo Nix?
Taking him over Nix.
Kyler Murray?
Taking him over Murray.
Flacco?
Yep.
You said Justin Herbert already, Patrick Mahomes already, Daniel Jones.
Over Jones.
Yep.
Who's playing phenomenal, by the way.
All right, Jane Daniels.
Yeah, I'm taking Love over Daniels. And I love Jaden Daniels. I think the sky's the limit for him, but we're seeing now what I thought we'd see last year and we'll probably see moving forward is kind of the RG3 effect. He's not built to take the hits like Hurts takes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Dak Prescott.
I'm taking him over Dak.
I would agree.
And Dak is good. Too bad he plays for the Cowboys.
Yep. Tua?
Taking him over Tua.
Jalen?
Taking him over Jalen.
Penix?
Yep.
Russell Wilson?
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yep.
Justin Fields?
Yep.
I mean, you already said Goff, so Bryce Young?
Yep.
Drake May?
Yep.
Geno?
Yep.
You already said Stafford. Lamar?
No, I'll take Lamar over him.
Spencer Rattler? Yep.
Yep.
Sam Darnold?
Yep.
Rodgers?
Yep.
CJ?
I think him and CJ Stroud are a lot alike.
There's a lot of debate about Jordan Love and CJ Stroud right now. I think it's coming from a lot of Packers fans about they feel like CJ Stroud gets more credit than what Jordan Love does.
He does. Because he's young and flashy.
Yeah. Cam Ward?
Yep.
You already know about JJ. I mean, that's pretty much it. So by default, that's a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, he's a top 10.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's a top 10.
Yeah, and I think he's unfairly judged because
Bingo.
he's following in the footsteps of Rodgers, and nobody can fill those footsteps.
Yep.
You know, so it's unfair. I mean, the majority of Packer fans out there aren't like I grew up and the Packers stunk, but the majority of my life they've had phenomenal quarterback play. You're talking 3 decades of Hall of Fame quarterback play, so the fan base has been spoiled. I think you can't expect every time you put a quarterback in that he's going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's just not fair.
Yep.
So you can complain, like Living a Dream Jeff complains about his footwork. He's never going to be Aaron Rodgers. So,
But the bar is so high that
Yeah.
it's, anything that's a little below it, it's, yeah.
if we get a true decade starting quarterback, that's better than 3/4 of the league ever gets. So, and I think we've got that in Jordan Love. So yeah, I wouldn't want a different quarterback.
I would agree. So, again, by the time this gets uploaded, this is going to be old news, but I got to tell you because it just broke.
Okay.
And it kind of relates to our 4th down question about the Brewers.
Oh boy.
So our 4th down question is, who deserves the most credit for the Brewers' success, okay? But it was just posted on Twitter, Brandon Woodruff's on the injured list.
What? For what?
Lat strain.
Get him a massage, dry needling, acupuncture.
It's he's still eligible. It's retroactive, so he is still eligible to be on the playoff roster if it gets to that, but they're still undergoing more testing and that, and obviously not the greatest news at this point in time.
That's terrible news.
Yeah, he's on the 15-day IL with a right lat strain.
Is it
retroactive to September 18th?
Okay, I was going to say, is it retroactive? So
Yep.
that's good. You get about 3 days back.
It says he is seeing a doctor here in St. Louis today, reflecting the urgency to get this assessed. So by the time this gets uploaded, we'll probably know a little bit more, but still stinks. Big
That stinks
time.
terribly.
Yeah. All right, so with that, our fourth down question, Brewers-wise, who gets the most credit or deserves the most credit for what they've done so far this year?
You can't point to one person. I'm looking. Okay.
Is this why you had? You got player development.
I'm going with
here.
the director of player development, August Fergestrom. Never heard his name until I looked it up, but that's him. I mean, seriously, their organization is stacked top to bottom, from the big leagues down through the minors. They got one of the top minor league programs. I mean, they're working contracts. So, I mean, the contract that they did with Churio sounds like they're trying to do that with Jesus Mate.
Yeah.
I think the whole organization, top to bottom, has just done a phenomenal job. So give it to Antanasio. I mean, he's pulling all the strings or making all the approvals. But, I mean, you just look at the front office directory, if you never have, on the Brewers website. There's got to be 100+ names here of different. I mean, look at all the different the people that they employ to put the product on the field. It goes on forever. Look at that. So who do we thank for that, or who's responsible for that? Does it go to Antanasio? I mean, who does it go to?
I was thinking about this the other day. So when David Stearns was hired, Craig Counsell was already in place. Because you go back to those years, Craig Counsell was already the manager. David Stearns didn't get to hire his manager. So they were worked, and I think everybody kind of assumed they would hook up in Mets land, and that didn't happen. And you see what's going on with the Mets right now. Probably not up to the expectation. I think it's different from trying to go from a Brewer standpoint, where you really got to scout in that, to a Mets where you have a blank checkbook. A lot of people would think that's probably easier. In some ways it is, but some ways it may not be, you know. So I look at it from the last couple of years, what has really been different? I mean, the constant is Mark Anasio. You can say that, the ownership group. But a guy who has been in that organization, has worked under David Stearns, is now, I give it to Matt Arnold.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal.
He was under David Stearns. He came over from Tampa. When he became the general manager, Craig Counsell was in his last year. He hired his general. I think one of the most underrated, overlooked aspects in all of sports is the general manager-head coach relationship.
Absolutely.
And I see what Matt Arnold could have went outside the organization and hired somebody. He went through a process, determined that Pat Murphy was the right man for the job. And by all accounts right now, he's right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he is right. He has hit on trades. He has hit on call-ups, signings. Everything that Matt Arnold has done so far, I think, has been out of the park. And it's not like he's new to the organization either. He has been there. He's been a part of those decisions and such. But again, who promoted Matt Arnold? Mark Anasio, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, you could go that route too. But I got to go with Matt Arnold because of the trades he's made, some of the signings he's made. He's the one who hired Pat Murphy. I mean, when Mark Anasio said he barely even knew Pat Murphy, and acknowledged he probably thought he wasn't going to get the job, it was Matt Arnold, again, some would say probably took the easy route to just promote, you know. So I'm going to go Matt Arnold.
Yeah, and I don't think that's wrong. That's a great, I mean, Matt, you've said it. He's hit on everything. And I think since Antanasio took over, I think they've built their system, and they live in it. And, you know, Antanasio got kind of bashed a little bit. I can't remember verbatim what he said, but he was talking about, you know,
am I in entertainment business or like winning and all that? Yeah.
And he wanted the families in the Milwaukee and in Wisconsin to be entertained with the product on the field. And the result has grown into what it is now. And I'm all for it, man. Here we are talking Brewers baseball heading towards
Week
October.
3 of the NFL season,
exactly.
too. Yeah. Yep.
Normally, the Brewers are in the rearview mirror. Even when they'd make the playoffs, they're second fiddle to the Packers, and that's not the case this year.
Yep, I agree.
Fun to watch.
All right, those are our 4 downs. You ready for a couple of games before we wrap it up? Because we got to watch kickoff here in a minute, too. So
about to watch the Packers beat up on the Browns, hopefully.
Yep, so we got 2 questions for our game time. This is another segment we're going to do, and it could be different types of games and such, but I thought of these. And I'm going to lead off with a what if, because I know you and I were on this bandwagon a few years ago. And the purpose of this is to say, what would the team look like, kind of project the future. What if Green Bay had hired Josh McDaniels over Matt LaFleur.
And I was all for that a few years ago.
So was I.
And
That's why I bring it up.
was wrong.
So was I, dude.
It's crazy how, from the outside, from being the fan perspective, what you want people to do, and then they bring in these people like, who the hell is Matt LaFleur? You know, but sometimes you got to just sit back and say these people know what they're doing.
Yep.
McDaniels has proven time and time again that he's a great offensive coordinator, a great offensive mind. He's not a leader of men. I mean, he's had opportunities to be a head coach, and he's fizzled in both of them. And I think it could have been. It could have been. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Here's what I think it is. We're seeing firsthand with the Badgers what the wrong hire does.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a great example.
You know, what if they would have promoted Jim Leonard or brought back Jim Leonard and had him in that job?
Overthinking it maybe a little bit,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Because I'll be honest, I think I think I speak for a lot of Badger fans. We were disappointed for Jimmy Leonard because it was a great story, great guy, local guy, great coach. But we were also excited. We actually got a guy like Luka Fickle to come over, right? I mean, that was the feeling for us. But is this an example of overthinking it? Get the flashy object, get the flashy prize, and this is what happened. Like Matt LaFleur, when he was hired, a lot of people are like, the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator.
Never even called his own plays.
Right. And, he was with the Rams, and then Titans, he went for a year and called his plays for Mike Vrabel. Yep. But everybody's like, but Tennessee's offense,
they're terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, it's another example of people know what they're doing most of the time.
Yep.
For hiring. So, all right, ready for the last game time question?
Yeah. No heads up on this one. This one we're hearing.
All right, I can't wait to get if Jeff. You have to pick one.
Uh-oh.
You have to pick one.
Pick one what?
I haven't got there yet. You have to pick one that's going to happen. Would you rather have, if it's going to happen, the Vikings or the Bears to win a Super Bowl?
Ooh. Bears.
Bears?
Because they already won one. Screw the Vikings.
You got to pick one.
That's like, would you rather have chlamydia or gonorrhea?
Hey,
this
why
is a
the
tough
Vikings
question.
play in a dome because God doesn't even want to watch them.
True story.
Bears are going to be playing in a dome here soon, too.
Yeah,
If-
they won a Super Bowl at least.
If one had to
A
happen,
lot longer than the Vikings.
Yeah.
I would say the Bears, because they've already won one. Okay, the Bears did it. How insufferable would that have been? But my God, would it be terrible if Minnesota won one?
I could see if we lived down in Milwaukee, it'd be different.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
We live here, and Viking fans are dickheads, and I don't know if I could say that.
It's a podcast. Who cares?
Well, they're dickheads.
I will say proximity is a huge thing.
Yes.
Proximity. I agree with you. When I lived in Rapids, it was more Bears fans. I'm like, what? This is annoying. Like, I can't stand it.
That and me as a little kid going to the Viking Stadium in a Lynn Dickey jersey, even when the Packers weren't playing, them guys were.
We just had a Lynn Dickey reference for the record.
Yep.
You always have one if I'm on the radio.
So
Lynn Dickey.
He just likes saying Dickey.
I gotta. I think I agree with you with the Bears. I think a lot of it's proximity, but mutual friend. I mean, if Hedge can see one too, that's. Well, he was around in it, but how old was he? Probably like.
Yeah, Hedge is insufferable, anyways. And now you give him the Bears Super Bowl win on top of it. Oh, good gravy. That'd be bad.
Yeah, but 2 in 100 years ain't bad, man. I mean, look
that's true.
Yeah.
Just as long as Minnesota doesn't win one.
As long as we can keep that joke going of the empty trophy case for Minnesota, I would be 100% okay with that.
Although, in 1969, they did win, or 68, before the Super Bowl, and they did win an NFL championship once, but they lost in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs.
Yep.
Super Bowl III. So that's their big bragging thing.
Well, I not to stand up for them, but I will say, if we say 13-time world champions,
That's true.
we got to acknowledge that they got one for Minnesota.
Well, no, not world, though, because they did lose to the Chiefs.
Well, no, I'm saying like NFL championship, though.
Well, NFL, but I mean, we were world championship 14 times.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying
they're
NFC
doing the Stein
championship.
contest.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing the Stein contest right now?
Yeah.
All right.
The old man's going to win.
Is your dad in it?
Look, Kurt's doing it.
I don't see him up there. No, your old man's right there.
They don't even have. You got to have beer in those things.
Are you ready for it?
Sports Talk 105.1 is paying for it.
All right. Hey, good stuff, man. Appreciate it. See you, Bob.
Thanks for having me,
You got
brother.
it, buddy.
Great times. Go
right.
Pack, go.
You got
go
it.
Brewers.
All right. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the Man Cave Podcast. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, 5-star rating, positive review so others can find the podcast. Till next time, I'm Dan. That's Living Dream Jeff. That's Mark over there. That's C-Bomb. We'll talk to you on the next
Free
episode
beer
of...
next time you log in.
There you go. Bought by Jeff. There you go.
There's always free beer tomorrow.